Once upon a time, in a small meadow, there lived a little firefly named Flash. Flash was smaller than the other fireflies, and his light was not as bright. He often felt scared and unsure of himself. One day, a big storm rolled in, and the meadow was plunged into darkness. The other fireflies were too afraid to fly, but Flash knew he had to be brave. He decided to fly out into the storm to find help. As he flew, the wind buffeted him about, and the rain pounded against his tiny body. But Flash persevered, his little light shining like a beacon in the darkness. Suddenly, he saw a faint light in the distance. A lantern hung from a tree branch. Flash flew towards it and found a wise old owl perched beneath. The owl asked, "What brings you out on such a stormy night, little firefly?" Flash explained the situation, and the owl offered to help. Together, they flew back to the meadow, the owl's wings shielding Flash from the wind. As they approached, the other fireflies saw Flash's light and were inspired to join in, lighting up the meadow like 1,000 tiny stars. The storm began to clear, and the sun peeked through the clouds. The fireflies cheered for Flash, hailing him as a hero. From that day on, Flash knew he was brave, and his light shone brighter than ever before. He learned that even the smallest creatures can make a big difference when they face their fears and stand up for what's right. The meadow celebrated Flash's bravery with a grand festival, and the little firefly's legend lived on, inspiring future generations to be brave and shine their lights for all to see. Like and subscribe channel for more stories.
Once upon a time, in a small village at the edge of a forest, there lived a sweet and gentle girl named Little Red Riding Hood. She was called so because of the bright red cloak she always wore. One day, Little Red Riding Hood's mother asked her to take a basket of freshly baked cookies to her sick grandmother, who lived in a nearby village. Little Red Riding Hood set off on the journey, walking through the forest path. As she walked, she encountered a sly and cunning Wolf. The Wolf approached her and asked where she was headed. Little Red Riding Hood naively told him about her trip to see her grandmother. The Wolf, with ill intentions, asked her to pick some flowers for her grandmother, and Little Red Riding Hood obliged. Meanwhile, the Wolf quickly ran ahead to grandmother's house. He ate the grandmother and disguised himself as her, waiting for Little Red Riding Hood's arrival. When Little Red Riding Hood arrived, the Wolf disguised as grandmother asked her to come closer. Little Red Riding Hood noticed something strange and said, "Grandmother, what big eyes you have." The Wolf replied, "The better to see you with, my dear." Little Red Riding Hood then said, "Grandmother, what big teeth you have." The Wolf replied, "The better to eat you with." Just then, a brave woodsman appeared at the door and saved Little Red Riding Hood by cutting open the Wolf's stomach with his axe. Little Red Riding Hood and her grandmother emerged unharmed. Little Red Riding Hood and her grandmother reunited, and the woodsman was hailed as a hero. From then on, Little Red Riding Hood was more cautious on her journeys, but she never lost her kindness and generosity. The story of Little Red Riding Hood teaches children the importance of being aware of their surroundings and the potential dangers of talking to strangers. Once upon a time, in a dense forest, there lived a big, fluffy bear named Benny. Benny was known for his bravery and kindness. One day, a severe storm hit the forest, causing the river to overflow and destroying many homes. Benny decided to embark on a journey to find help. He traveled through the forest, facing many challenges along the way. He crossed rushing streams, climbed steep hills, and encountered fierce creatures. But Benny was not afraid. He used his strength and cleverness to overcome each obstacle. As he journeyed, Benny met various animals who joined him on his quest. There was Max the mouse, who was quick and agile, Sammy the squirrel, who was nimble and fast, and Olga the owl, who had sharp eyesight. Together, they reached the wise old badger's den, who told them about a hidden path leading to the nearby village. The villagers, he said, would have the resources to help the forest animals. Benny and his friends bravely followed the path, facing more challenges until they finally reached the village. The villagers were amazed by the brave bear and his friends. They provided them with food, shelter, and tools to rebuild their homes. Benny and his friends returned to the forest, where they were welcomed as heroes. The animals worked together, using the resources from the village to rebuild their homes and restore the forest. Benny's bravery and determination had saved the day, proving that even the biggest challenges can be overcome with courage and friendship. From then on, Benny was known as the bravest bear in the forest, and his legendary journey was told and retold for generations to come. Like and subscribe channel for more stories, and not forget to press bell icon